saying that I have been around the house and, as I can call it, a confined feral housewife. I decided to do a little bit of a rearrange. Hello, guys, gals, and pals. Welcome to Miss Crafts Lots Lair. I am Barbie. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I am a multi-crafter, so this is going to be a channel that you are going to find all sorts of different crafts being shown. Right now I am in knitting crochet kick, but saying that it's going to be getting warmer and it's already pretty humid outside, it's going to be some other stuff as well. Yes, and if you are a returning watcher, welcome back. And if you aren't subscribed, please make sure you're subscribed. Helped me reach my lofty goal for this year, but I think I can totally do it. Let's get into what I have been up to lately. First off, this month has been kind of, April that is, has been kind of crazy. I know now we're into the beginning part of May. Wild. But April has been a very interesting time. First my car goes down, then my husband's truck goes down, and then our third and final daily driver gets squished in the middle of the month. So it's been a very interesting month, to say the least. I've had a lot of time to sit around the house and get my knitting and crochet done. So with that, the first thing that I got done, that I am super proud of myself for getting done, for the fact that it was a headache, is I got my V-neck sweater done-ish. I still have to go in and hide tails. Y'all know me. Have to hide tails and get it all what am I looking for? I'm looking for a word. It's a common word. Blocked. That's it. I have to block this still and hide some tails, but other than that, it is done. And the V-neck I did end up getting under control. It might be a little low, but I'm working with it. So it was quite the headache. I kind of had to write the pattern, rewrite my own pattern for it, because of the fact that the pattern that I had originally found was so crazy. So that particular pattern is not available. I am sorry. I am not going to, like, saying I had so many issues with that written pattern. I don't feel like putting them on blast, so I am not going to be sharing what pattern it was that I got the inspiration from for that. But I got it done, and I'm proud of myself. The second thing that I got done that also needs to be tails weaved in and seamed, unfortunately there's a couple seams. My hatred, my dislike for, or steep dislike for seams, but I will manage with this one. I got the autumn wheat cardigan done. It's a cuff to cuff. So I only have two seams that I need to work on. So there's one side seam, and it's got this really awesome puff stitch. I love this puff stitch. So I think that's going to be coming up in quite a few of my other patterns, because, you know, if I get stuck on a pattern or a stitch pattern, I love that it ends up getting used probably too much, but I like it, so I justify it. So real quick, this one was made out of the ice cream big scoop in cookies and cream. And this yarn that I used for this cardigan is actually the Pound of Love in charcoal, because I love this color. I had it in my stash and I was like, you know what, I'm working on it. So I have those here, so then that way if I need anything as far as more yarn to seam and such, I have it on hand here. Saying I will also talk about this, saying that I have been around the house and as I can call it, a confined feral housewife, I decided to do a little bit of a rearrange. My sublimation station, or what I call the substation, was over in this corner here, which I moved that closer to the door for better ventilation, and moved my yarn stash over here, and I connected it all. I will try to put a video of what this whole fiber wall looks like at the end of this video. Now, on to what I have been working on. I am also, not only do I knit and crochet, but I also write my own patterns. And one of the patterns that I had up was the Lucy Poncho. I found out that it was brought to my attention that there was a few things that I left out of the pattern. So I took the pattern down from sale earlier this year. And late last year, early this year, I took the pattern down from sale, and I figured I will rework the pattern. There's a few other things I want to add to the pattern anyway, because of the fact that I want it to be more size inclusive, and something that when I first wrote the pattern, I was very into like waist length patterns or pieces. I have now gotten into longer pieces, so I decided that while I was reworking that, I'll give an option to have a longer piece when, finished piece. So I got to reworking it. So I first started off, I was going to play around. I did play around with the pattern a little bit. This one does not have the knit rows in it between the ribbing and the actual cable. The pattern calls for knit rows in there, and I just think, here is the rework of the back again, but I just think it looks a little cleaner with those rows in there. I'm making it, like I said, I wanted to add length and to make the pattern more size inclusive. So I am hoping to have this all redone and finished and ready to go by June. I'm going to give myself June, the end of June. So then that way I have plenty of time to do a good job on it and fix whatever errors and make sure there aren't any errors in this pattern that I put back up for sale. So late June, early July, we'll put that way. And finally, before I get out of here, this is going to be kind of a short video because I have to run and do some stuff. But the final thing that I wanted to share with you is what is upcoming, and I am going to be making my vanilla sock pattern that I love, the easiest possible sock pattern that I have found, and I will be linking that pattern down below. But it's my basis pattern. I go for that. I take measurements and such, and I figure out whatever size yarn I'm working with. I try not to go past 4 for socks, but I decided that this yarn was too cute to pass up. So I got 2 because I like to knit my socks 2 at a time, toe up 2 at a time. But I thought this was so cute, and look how this works up. Is that not cute? It's called Dragon Fruits, or the colorway is Dragon Fruit, and it is by Premier Yarn. And I cannot wait to get this on my needles because this is going to be my save myself from more car problems project, I think. Something small that I can take in the car to keep myself occupied, because if I have a knitting project or a crochet project, if I have a project with me in my car is less likely to break down, thanks to Murphy's Law. We all have been there, I think. If I have a pattern project with me, I have less chances and have found less chances that I end up breaking down. My car breaks down somewhere if I don't have a project with me or something else happens. So this is going to be my save myself from car problems this summer project, and we will see if that actually helps once my cars get back up and running again. So that is the only thing that I have on my to-do list, because I do want to get this Lucy poncho rewritten and up as soon as possible, because it is a beautiful poncho pattern. It just had some issues that I need to work through, and yeah. So if you like this little blurb and you are interested in seeing more from me, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and also hit that bell button so that you get notified when I post. I am planning on posting a bit more. I do have a couple of new series up my sleeve that I am super excited to share with you. The newest one is going to start at the end of May, and I am super excited. And yeah, so until next time, guys, bye!